Hello there and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadil Kabir. I'm so happy that you've joined us once again for political conversations. These conversations are simple, truthful. Prof puts them across in a hard-hitting way. He's here with some mandizi and some tea. You want to prove people that you don't eat at the studios, eh? But how are you doing?
Fine.
Long time no see. How have you been?
Thank you.
You're well?
Very well.
You know, our conversation for today.
Thanking God.
Yeah, thanking God. Actually, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You've reached that age, ama bado.
Hapo kwa mwisho reli.
Yeah?
Hapo ndio tunakaribia hapo sasa.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
To you, and we hope that you live long so that Nairobi Review grows. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to Herman Manyora's YouTube. This is probably your legacy. Have you ever thought of it that way?
It should be my legacy.
Yeah?
It should be my legacy.
These conversations.
I think.
Our conversation for today is what has been trending over the week. Charlene Ruto. They're calling it making of a different dynasty, a new one. I don't know what you think about that, Prof. She was saying, she was introducing people and she said, these are the people that I'm with, introducing someone, I think her advisor. And then she said, they're from the office of the first daughter. She was bashed for it. Some say, look, it's the government spending money on it. And then she came out explaining this is a private entity. But the name, Prof, the name itself, Office of the First Daughter. What do you make of it?
I'm not seeing anything. In fact, I was tweeting this morning.
You're tweeting?
I said, I'm not the first. What is the first about? Ivanka Trump had an office. First lady, first daughters have offices. I mean, it may not be a government office. Whatever she's involved in, you know, it is. You know, we are used to first lady as an office. But if she's working and the people who work for her, when they leave home, they are going to work. Where do they say they are going to work? Ukikuta mtu anaenda kwa Charlene, amepiga taya amenyonga. A member of the team, they call members of the team.
Yes.
Which is euphemism for worker. You work for her.
Yeah.
Sasa mtu anakuuliza unaenda wapi? What would you say?
I'm going to work at Ruto's daughter's office. So you just say the first daughter's...
Yes, office. Yeah, simple like that. Hata kuifanya ikae mzuri kidogo. Office of the first daughter.
But the conversation itself is based
There's
on...
nothing. I don't know what
on the trips she's been making.
In fact, I have seen even BBC is making a lot of fuss out of it. Just the whole of yesterday, BBC was featuring it. Sneaking it into every story. Even the covering football, but Charlene Ruto is their first daughter. What is...
I want to know, because of the meeting she's been...
The British should be the last people to do that, because all this, the royal family, they are engaged in all manner of things. Philanthropy and everything. And you can't do that without an office. If this young lady is involved in some work, philanthropy or whatever it is, where will she operate from? Somewhere Surgoi.
Someone saying, let's just call it...
In a cattle bomber.
Let's just call it a Charlene Ruto Foundation.
A secretariat. And she will have a physical office. She will have physical people working for her. There will be resources being used. What do you call that? It's an office.
Here's her statement. She says, though it's independent structure and facilitators, the office has engaged various players across the country and beyond in line with some of its objectives of championing youth-based agendas and climate change advocacy. It's as if now what she's doing is simply some philanthropic thing and helping the youth. But we've seen her in trips going to governors, making these moves that seem as if she's representing the government. I'm talking about perception in some way. And this is why conversation is who's really facilitating it, even though she's saying it's a private affair. Should people question it? Because now it's the office of the first daughter. It has not been seen in the country before. It's as if it's being introduced now. Is this a good move?
I refuse to see it as some official creation. All government offices are created by law. Some by the constitution, some by executive order through reorganization of government. I've not seen anywhere where the country or the government or the president has reorganized his government through an executive order and the created office of the first daughter. Once that happens, then a conversation can emerge. And the question will be, would it really be the right thing to do? Will it be legal? Will it be constitutional? And so on and so forth.
Then we'll have a conversation.
But now I'm not seeing there is nothing.
Let's talk.
The thing you have introduced, which is an issue, is she's all over the place. She should have advisors. And the problem with this country, even when you are going wrong, people close to you either are afraid or would not even mind you going to the ditch. That's why Uhuru and Raila could not succeed. Because close people to you cannot tell you the truth. People should tell the president, your daughter must not be all over the place. She's in fact irritating people.
They're calling her, they're calling her quick-marked Ivanka.
Yeah,
that's what they're
people respect the president. People even fear. This is not America. People fear the president. If you hear she's coming to your office, and you are in charge of water or whatever it is, like Toro, you know you'll be shaking. Everybody there will be shaking and, you know, cleaning the place, almost painting it 10 times in every hour. People will be cleaning the place every 30 minutes because the daughter of the president. So, people who know the president and who work with the president should gather the courage to inform the president. Tell this little girl she's overdoing it. And people are not happy about it.
Do you think it is the president's move with her? Because look at what...
This is your daughter, tell her not to do so.
Maybe it's Ruto who is telling her to do so. This is what Mutainguni said.
The advisor should tell her it is wrong because it's not coming out well. You know, few of us can tell people the truth. You know, even people say I support Raila, but you heard me telling Raila the truth many times. You know, people who are with you and love you and care for you and want you to succeed, they should be able to tell you the truth, that people are not happy with
Charlene
being all over the place. You know, even the offices where she's going to, people have no choice but to receive her.
Because they don't know the repercussions.
Yeah, if you don't, you could get into trouble, you could lose your job.
Here's what Mutainguni said. He said, dear people of parliament, support Winnie Odinga when she was running for wanting to be elected into Iala. She's the future of politics with Charlene Ruto. Girl power must rule. What do you make of this statement? It's as if now we have Winnie Odinga, we have Charlene Ruto, and I was asking you, could this be Ruto's move, trying to build now this kind of dynasty where we had President Kenyatta and his son, we had Jaramogi Odinga with his son. Could Charlene Ruto be the future of politics in Ruto's home? No
problem. There's Nick Ruto, there's June Ruto, there's Charlene Ruto,
but I'm looking
at the other Rutos perhaps.
And the moves with the moves.
Granddaughters and grandsons. It's okay. Ruto is a dynasty already, and you don't need to say he's trying to create. He's already there. Yeah. According to Kenyan understanding of dynasty, he's already a dynasty. And so
now, is Charlene Ruto the future now of this? Because we're looking at her.
I don't know her.
And what she's
too
doing.
Young for me to pass a judgment over her. But she's interested in public affairs. Not everybody is interested. Look at Ngina of Uhuru Kenyatta. She's not interested. And there's also another young man there, the designer. I don't think she's interested in this. But there's another one. It looks like a jamba, that one. So not all children in a family will be interested in public life, in the politics especially. Charlene looks like she's okay with it. And we'll support her. We'll encourage her. We want the young ladies to come up. We'll support Winnie. We'll support her. It's a good idea.
I'm asking
but somebody must advise Ruto, President Ruto and the daughter. Don't do things to irritate people. People are getting very irritated. She's all over the place. What's
the worst that can happen? Because you're saying people are irritated,
yes.
And I think a section of Kenya still like what she's doing.
No, you see, I even tweeted one time, I was telling her, if you do a very good thing, let somebody else talk about it. Let a third party be the one to talk about it. Don't talk about it yourself. Or if you have an office, let that office talk about it. Like Beyond Zero campaign of Margaret Kenyatta. If Beyond Zero secretary is the one talking, it's okay. But Margaret Kenyatta say, I was here doing this for women. No,
isn't that politics?
That's just communication.
Isn't that
what
politics
I'm
that we
free
see?
Advice which I should be paid for. That's just from a communication point of view. There are certain things you don't say yourself. You let others say.
What is the right time for someone like Charlene Ruto, who possibly based on what she's doing, seems to be more of doing politics than, you know, helping?
If I were to advise Charlene Ruto, what I would advise her to do would be focus on an idea, one thing, and give it your all, and raise resources, fundraise for that thing, so that people don't say you are getting this thing from the state. Although even those who are faulting her for getting money from the state, it is quite possible she can get money from the state in a very legal way. Very legal.
Just like anyone else.
No. You know, the office of the First Lady is financed by the government. The First Lady can support activities of the First Daughter. Very legally. She's not going to do business with that money. If she's in philanthropy, the First Lady's office, which is an office mainly for philanthropy and goodwill, and if it has resources, it can expand some of that resources to fund the activities of Charlene. And it's legal. There will be nothing wrong with it.
I've asked you, what is the worst that can happen?
Nothing. What will happen?
To Ruto and to Charlene? Because you're saying, it's irritating. But what's the worst?
Nothing will happen.
So,
but Ruto is not a fool. He has heard what we are saying. Let her focus. Let her not be all over the place. Let her stop visiting government offices. And actually, barely, actually harassing those people. Because when then the daughter of the president comes to your office, you are harassed. You can't speak, even if you don't like it. You'll pretend to like it. And you mobilize everybody in the office to receive her. And stop working. There's no work going on. Imagine Charlene is coming to your office. You are chairman of this corporation or a minister or a CS or a PS. Everything will have to stop. Suddenly.
You've said based on the definition we know of dynasty, they are dynasty. Ruto is a dynasty. Does that mean he cannot play the same kind of politics he played before, hustler versus dynasty? And do Kenyans read all this from these Charlene Ruto moves and what she's doing across the country?
You know what? You know, politicians are very short-sighted people. And they forget very fast. They say this is an animal which is eating ngiri, which forgets. Politicians are worse. You campaign on a platform of dynasty destroying the economy and everything else. Today you are showing the same people that you are more a dynasty than Raila, than Ruto, than Uhuru. Politicians forget so fast. As you push this lady forward, what comes out is a dynasty. You are creating a dynasty. People were not happy because Raila and Uhuru were this and the other. Now with Charlene there, you are basically saying, well, let them leave, I come in to become the new dynasty. So politicians forget.
So this one shows that they are all the same.
They are the same politicians. But it can haunt you.
How so?
Because you see, what President Ruto must know is that people also don't forget as fast as they think. People remember the things you said. And people are excited about those things. With the time, they will be asking themselves, what? Wait a moment. What was he saying? What is he doing now? That is happening at a time the cost of living is going up. I've just seen the new inflation rate in the UK. Unheard of for years. And the rest of Europe. I saw something from Australia. The global economy is hurting. We have not felt it here because we are almost a subsistence economy. But we are going to feel it very soon. The moment you begin to feel it, the people are hurting. Unga is up, everything is up. They can barely, EPRA can barely keep the price of fuel, petrol, where it was. Some small thing happening in the international crude oil prices. This thing will just go up. And look at the dollar. I went to exchange dollar. I found 128. I said, what? Give me quickly.
Dollar now 128?
I was given 128. Last time I took some euro, of course not many. Mia moja even. The euro, last time I checked, was 120. Actually, the euro has gone 128. From 118, 128. It had been 124, came down 122 like that.
Now 128.
This bureau. Maybe 130 now. The dollar is up. So with the dollar up, if the international crude oil went up just a bit per barrel, this thing will go up. Unga, you cannot bring it down because look, unless you flood the market with GMO. So when things are going up and you are still pushing other things, it will haunt you.
So for you, the biggest, what might bring Ruto down is this irritativeness that you say comes with
people,
Charlene
Ruto.
Ruto.
When you irritate people, at a time they are hurting. You can irritate people when there's food on the table. They maybe get annoyed and they forget because they are. But now you are irritating them and they are hungry.
And you say a hungry man.
It's an angry man.
Maybe a good place to wrap up. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Gerald Cabrera. This has been a conversation on the making of a dynasty. Is it really? And Charlene Ruto, what is she really doing? We do have these conversations again. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day. And by the way, Herman Manyora, happy birthday.
Thank you. And this is what I'm eating instead of cake.
It is what it is. When you get to that age.
Boiled bananas.
It is what it is.
On my place.